Since I've already done a few sets of these leading into, I'm actually really starting to get a good pump on my. I can't even touch my shoulders right now. My chest is so sore. I'm starting to get a good pump here. This year, I'm really trying to round out my shoulder. That's where I feel I'm lacking a lot. I know I got pretty decent shoulders. I see little things I want to tweak them throughout the year. We all do that as bodybuilders, powerlifters, anyone in the fitness industry. You find something and you just want to tweak it. You just work it. You got to think of your body as like clay. You can really reset yourself depending on your diet. Work with what you got, of course, for your genetics, and anything that you can enhance. Find specific exercises for that little muscle group. Find other exercises for that muscle group that work certain angles. And that, I've got a lot to learn. But that's one thing I really started learning this past year. And a lot of that's coming from, I'm starting to find the mind-muscle connection. Forget it, dude. My first year, it made sense to me. I got what people were saying, but I didn't get what they're saying. I didn't fully understand, and I'm starting to now. I got a long ways to go with it. My back it needs a lot of work, but I'm starting to get that X-frame. And the only way that's starting to happen is because now I'm able to focus on different parts of my lats, my traps, the center of my back, the beefier part, different exercise I'm doing, like lat pull downs, depending on my grip where it is, I can really concentrate now on what I'm trying to do. And like I said, I got a lot to learn. I really do, but I wouldn't have known any of that until it all started to come together, and it took a couple of years, realistically. If you're a beginner, and try to remember that, though, keep doing the motions. You might not feel it right away, but eventually you will. And then when you start feeling it, that's when progress really starts to show. So, enough of me yapping. I'm going to work my way into these shrugs here. Like I said earlier, I like this setup for shrugs because the width of this bench gives me to spread my legs at a good stance where I can, evenly carry the weight on both my shoulders, not, leaning one way or unequal balance. I'm going to start with a traditional grip, probably do 3 sets. I don't even know what weight my body wants to work right now, but we'll figure out the first set and go from there. Like anything else, I try to roll my shoulders back. Squeeze at the top. It's really important to keep your chest up. This and most exercises. Feels pretty good. I think I'm going to go up another 20 pounds or so. Do a few working sets of that. it's nice to get some of the pain off my chest and put it somewhere. Alexa, volume 10. Get in there. Alexa, volume 5. So, bodybuilders have their off season, and then they got however many so-and-so weeks out. Like right now, I haven't even done my first show, but I kind of try to follow that guideline. Right now, I'd say it'd be an off season. I'm really trying to bulk up, like put on as much muscle mass as I possibly can. It's almost a double-edged sword, you know. With the more weight you put on, the more fat you gain. You know, that's part of it. So watching what you eat through any part of the year is really important. You don't want to just put on weight by eating McDonald's and gas station food, pizza, you name it, you know, all that garbage. You really still want to stick with your basics, your white meat, your white fish. You want your rice. You got to have the slow-burning carbs like your oats. And when it's gain season like this, man, you got to eat a lot. We all got different stomachs. We all got different metabolisms. We burn food at different rates. I'm an easy gainer. I train with a lot of people who are hard gainers. They can't be eating like me, and I can't be eating like them. You got to find what works for you. For me, for an example, if I eat like shit, I'm going to look like shit. Like, quickly, too. So, like, we do our daily exercises with abs, your core, your obliques, all that shit. We still do those. We don't ever avoid any muscle group in particular, but they're not visible until you start fucking eating right. I'm sorry. There's no secret. That's all there is to it. The boring shit, like counting your macros, it's not that it's difficult. It's slightly time consuming. The best thing you could do is record shit as much as possible. Now you have something to go back on and be like, hey, okay, instead of trying to look up to see how much protein to carbs to sugar to fat is in something, you already have it recorded from last week. Try to stick with single ingredients. It's much easier to count. Single ingredient food is better for you too. And as we know, processed food, it's garbage, man. It's cheap. That's the problem here in most of this world, is the cheap food is the garbage food. But I'm not saying you can't eat healthy on a budget, because you can. You just need to take the time to prepare your meals. Hence the word meal prep. That, if you gather anything out of this video, I hope someone learns something from that, because that is probably the most important part of bodybuilding and or powerlifting, is the way you eat. You need to eat according to your workouts. We only spend about an hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours a day in the gym, but that's 21 hours that aren't accounted for. Another big portion of it is sleep. Your body heals when you're sleeping. Recovery is very, very important. Stretching, another big thing. That muscle that you're training will not grow if you don't stretch it. So, warm-ups and stretching on any day that you're training is a necessity. Enough yapping. I got to get back, get some blood into my muscles. Got to get those traps pumping. That's a part I'm trying to work on this year. My traps, my side delts, still can't touch because my chest fucking hurts. My biceps, pretty friggin' weak, dude. I don't like them. I want to be able to see all the different heads. And I got to trim down my waistline a little bit. I may be preparing for a show next year. Given that this is the beginning of my third year. So I look at things like that. Little muscles I could tweak and work out a little bit better than I have in the past couple of years. Stick with me, man. I'll stick with you guys. I hope we can learn from each other. It's part of it, man.
As black as night now.